Welcome to the Blake Goodman PC Attorneys Podcast. We provide a knowledgeable guide on bankruptcy law in the state of Hawaii so you can stay informed and get the fresh financial start you need. With over 80 years of combined experience in bankruptcy law, at Blake Goodman PC, we're ready to listen and help you get back on your feet. This podcast series is reviewed and approved by founding attorney Blake Goodman.
In this episode, we explore how bankruptcy impacts your cosigner and share key insights every borrower in Hawaii should know. When you apply for a loan, especially if it is your first time, you may have to find someone who is willing to cosign. Your cosigner will be equally responsible for your debt, and if you file for bankruptcy, they will most certainly be affected. Before filing, if you have a cosigner involved, you should ask a few questions. What happens if you choose to file for bankruptcy? How will your bankruptcy affect your cosigner? Is there anything that can be done to protect your cosigner? These are all important questions that must be answered, and your bankruptcy lawyer can help you determine the best course of action. Let's start by breaking down what happens to cosign debt when bankruptcy is filed in Hawaii. If you are considering bankruptcy, it's important to consider all aspects of how it will affect you and anyone who co-signed a loan with you. Your Honolulu bankruptcy lawyer can help you understand your specific situation and whether bankruptcy is right. But how will bankruptcy affect your cosigner? The answer lies within what type of bankruptcy you file for. Now, let's examine how Chapter 7 bankruptcy affects a cosigned loan. In Chapter 7 bankruptcy, all your non-exempt assets will be sold in order to pay off debts. Anything unsecured will usually be discharged. As the borrower filing for bankruptcy, your obligation to pay your debt will be wiped out at the end of bankruptcy. Keep in mind, Chapter 7 bankruptcy does not have the same benefit for the cosigner, unfortunately. They will remain liable for the full debt amount. As soon as the borrower's bankruptcy case is complete, the cosigner is fully and legally responsible. On the other hand, what does Chapter 13 bankruptcy mean for a cosigned loan? In Chapter 13 bankruptcy, the bankruptcy filer's loan is reorganized into a 3 to 5 year payment plan. An automatic stay is placed on the debt which prevents any collection efforts until the bankruptcy is complete. This stay impacts the cosigner as well. As long as the borrower continues paying off the loan, the cosigner will not be responsible. Once the payment plan is complete, some or all of the debt may be paid off, which will reduce or eliminate what the cosigner owes. However, if the borrower does not complete the bankruptcy plan, the automatic stay will go away, and the lender can pursue the cosigner immediately. You might be wondering, what's a cosigner, and how do they play a role in Hawaii bankruptcy cases? A cosigner is often required for those who are first-time borrowers or who have poor credit history. It is typically a person who is agreeing to take on joint responsibility for paying the loan if the original borrower fails to do so. The loan will appear on the cosigner's credit report, and timely or missed payments will affect their credit score. The lender will take a look at the cosigner's income, credit score, and assets to determine whether to initiate the loan. Being a cosigner means some risk, such as being legally responsible for the loan if the original borrower cannot pay. Lenders can even pursue cosigners for missed monthly payments, and if the original borrower files for bankruptcy, the cosigner will be impacted. Next, let's look at what happens if your cosigner files for bankruptcy in Hawaii. What happens if, in a turn of events, your cosigner files for bankruptcy? As the original borrower, you will continue to be 100% liable for the loan. If your cosigner files for bankruptcy, their obligation to pay your loan could be discharged, and the lender will no longer be able to pursue them if you do not pay. You will continue to be pursued for the loan, however. Additionally, the benefits of your cosigner's credit score could be removed, such as the more favorable terms. The cosigner's bankruptcy will not affect your credit score, but any missed payments by yourself or your cosigner will reduce your personal credit score. Finally, let's review the key ways to protect a cosigner when filing for bankruptcy. So how can you safeguard your cosigner if you choose to file for bankruptcy? The best way to do this is to file for Chapter 13 instead of Chapter 7, if at all possible. As stated above, this places an automatic stay on the debt for you and your cosigner, and if you follow the payment plan of Chapter 13, your debt will likely be completed at the end of bankruptcy, removing your cosigner's responsibility. You could also talk with your bankruptcy lawyer to see if reaffirming the cosigned debt is possible. You must sign a reaffirmation agreement before your debt is discharged in order to do this. This signals to the lenders that you intend to continue paying off the debt once your bankruptcy is over. It keeps the debt alive in your name and prevents your cosigner from being left with the bill. Protect your cosigner and approach bankruptcy with confidence by consulting our experienced Hawaii bankruptcy attorneys. At Blake Goodman, we have over 80 years of combined experience and are dedicated to walking our clients through the challenges of bankruptcy. Whether you're filing for Chapter 7, Chapter 13, or want ideas on how to avoid bankruptcy, our Honolulu bankruptcy lawyers have you covered. We provide a free consultation where we will evaluate your case and discuss your options. Contact us today to start on your journey towards financial freedom and protect your cosigner while doing so. To schedule your free case consultation, call us at 808-556-7833 or visit us online at debtfreehawaii.com.
Thank you for listening to the Blake Goodman PC Attorneys Podcast. Going through bankruptcy can be a difficult and complex situation, but it doesn't have to be if you have us on your side. Your path to financial freedom starts here. Get in touch with the experienced bankruptcy lawyers at Blake Goodman PC Attorney today to explore your options.